What's up, you guys? It's Henry. As you guys know, I love electric vehicle stocks like Tesla, NIO, Workhorse, and I haven't done a video on Hyliion for some time, but here's what you can expect in this video. I will fill you in on some news, take a look at the charts and technical patterns, take a peek at what the options might be saying on this name, and finally, where I think this stock is going. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you join the dopest family on YouTube so you can get stupid rich. So what happened with Hyliion? Well, Tortoise Acquisition, which is merging with Hyliion, went up 33% last week, and I want to see if that holds up, and lo and behold, it kind of did. I think it's in a really interesting pattern, and I will discuss that later in this video when I get to screen sharing. First, the special purpose acquisition company released second quarter financial information for electric truck powertrain maker Hyliion, and let's just say some people are getting very excited. Which on the surface is kind of strange because Hyliion had no significant revenue in the first half of 2020, and it didn't yet ship its products. In fact, Hyliion burned about $2.7 million in the second quarter, but it's not all bad news because you have to spend money to make money, and it's pretty vital for a business to grow, especially during the early stages of research and development, customizing the product, and kind of getting that product out to the mass market. You really do need to spend a ton of money at first. From what I can see from first glance on the stock, looking at the news and reading through, kind of looking at the CEO and looking into Tortoise Acquisition Group, I can say that this stock is at least not a massive pump and dump scheme like Nikola. Hyliion's hypertruck concept involves an all-electric drivetrain utilizing an electric motor, and this has really caught the attention of acquired Tortoise Acquisition. The merger isn't going to materialize until September, which actually isn't so far away from now. I think investors are realizing that September is just in a month from now, literally like 2 weeks, and expect it to moon when the event finally takes place and the merger actually happens. During a merger event, that actually means that two companies, their values are combined and it comes into one stock, and that stock will be SHLL. And because, it's gonna be one valuable stock, there's gonna be tons of investors that are coming from the private markets that are super excited about this deal, as well as retail investors that want a piece of the combined company's action. It's gonna be really interesting to see what the stock will do on the actual date of the merger. There's also another thing that I have to talk about, which is FOMO, fear of missing out. And this means that there is some FOMO going on in the market, and basically people are kind of afraid that they might miss out on a really big opportunity on a stock that might potentially 10x or 20x and really grow a lot, just like we've seen with some other EV makers, such as NIO has been growing, but Tesla has really proven to be the game changer. And it's went up from like $300 during the whole Corona thing back in March, and it's now at $1,900 or $1,895, I believe, which is absolutely insane. If you guys made a fortune, give me a smash on the like button and just give a comment, be like, yo, I made some sick money on Tesla. Thank you, Uncle Henry, give me that fist pump. And if you guys wanna know why I will never sell Tesla, I'm sort of exaggerating. I mean, I just won't sell until maybe 5 years or 10 years from now when I really need the money to potentially purchase a house and maybe start, the family with that special lady in my future. But you get the point. I'm not planning on selling Tesla until I really, seriously really need the money. Then check out this video right here. And also, it's really important because if you're new, I've made a lot of good videos that have made my YouTube family stupid money. And I think that is a very well-made video, so check it out. Now for some technicals, let's jump into charting so I can explain my thought process, how I'm thinking about this stock, what the volume looks like, what the moving averages look like, and a whole bunch of stuff that you need to know about technical analysis and what is going on with investors, like what they're doing. Let's see what's going on so we can make a better analysis on what others are doing, so we can see where our mindset and what our thesis kind of fits in with that whole picture. All right, you guys, so we're gonna be taking a look at Shell, what the chart looks like. As I promised, I'm going to be doing an analysis on the pricing, the charting, and then also we're gonna go take a look at Robinhood and take a look at the options. So the first thing that I noticed is I'm taking a look at the 1 month chart, and basically there is a ton of FOMO, and I know that because the stock has shot up from basically about 1990 to all the way to 27. So basically from 20 to 27, that's what, it's like a 35% rise. I think it was 33% about. And there's a whole lot of volume here, and that volume is just people getting super excited. It looks like it's probably retail investors, but it also might be funds, but not really, because this name isn't so big in terms of market cap. Now, there has been a little bit of selling off. That is not really concerning though, because this volume is very low. So just a few people taking some profits. So it has really come down, and now it's kind of come up in a V-shaped recovery. Of course, it did sell off a little bit, but now we're in a really interesting situation. So I'm going to take a look at the options, but real quick, let's take a look at the RSI, and the RSI is 65. So it does seem like this stock is a little bit too hot. But then again, another factor that I look at is this moving average right here. And the current moving average is at 50. So we're actually going to change this to 30. I really want to take a look at the 30-day period. Oops, 30. Boom. So, okay, we're above the 30, which is good. So as you guys can see here, it did sell off below the 30-day moving average, and that was hovering there for quite some time, since July 24th all the way until August 12th. So in my opinion, it was kind of undervalued here, because obviously they have a lot of good stuff going on, and you know, Hyliion and Dana joined forces, and so I do think that it was somewhat overvalued here for a little bit. And I do see that, you know, there's a whole bunch of good news coming up. So it was kind of just a matter of time whether this stock was going to pop upward. And now it's quite above the moving average, and I think this is a strong signal, but at the same time it's 65. So I'm kind of getting neutral on this stock. I do think that it is kind of fairly valued at this time, but let's take a look and see what's going on with the options. All right, guys, so here I am at the options section. So this is really important, and I'm going to be taking a look at 1 month from now, because I think that's kind of the time frame that things might be closing. So September 18th, and let's take a look. So I know a lot of you guys really want to make more money in this stock. I know it's shot up, but everyone's super bullish still. So let's just take a look and see what's going on for maybe the 30 area. So buy, call. Okay, let's take a look at the 30. Not a whole lot of volume. So today isn't super bullish, but then again, I am kind of making this video a little bit late. Not really, because I do like to see what happens after a stock shoots up. You know, the next few days are really important, what the consolidation looks like. And again, consolidation is just when people have really bought a stock, but then what happens a few days after. So there's usually a lot of tickering up and down action, because investors aren't really sure what the next move is. And that's, going back to Shell, kind of what happened. But I mean, investors are just selling off and taking profits, which is fine. It doesn't mean anything in the long term. We can take a look at Tesla. People do that all the time. That's fine. I mean, Shell might do the same thing. So taking a look at the 30, not really that much going on. So let's just keep searching. 35. That's pretty cool. The implied volatility is massive. I don't think I've seen anything that high on this channel yet. I've obviously seen higher in my life, but not on this channel reviewing with you guys live. I definitely think there's a whole bunch of action, and it looks like there's a 30% chance of this happening. So that's really high within a month, 30% chance. That is astronomically high. Now, taking a look at the theta is actually not so high. The theta just means how much an option is losing in terms of money every single day, and it's basically losing $6. So this is kind of a cheap way of betting on Shell. I wouldn't want to buy a whole bunch of shares right now, just because it did shoot up, and I haven't owned Hyliion. I've never actually purchased it. So I'm just kind of making a review here of what I might do from this situation. And what I would personally do is, since I don't own any stock, maybe I'll buy some calls, but I'm not super hot on that right now, just because kind of Tesla just killing it so hard. I don't really need to kind of gamble elsewhere, just because Tesla is going off the hook. So I guess let's see, what else can we take a look at? It doesn't really go higher than 40, but let's just take a look at the 40. And okay, so there's literally some positions being open today, but I'm not really seeing much over here on the 40s. So let's take a look at buying puts. So that's just the way that people are potentially being bearish on the stock, and maybe seeing that maybe the stock will fall, or maybe they're afraid and they're hedging their bets if they own a lot of shares. So let's take a look at the 20. And yeah, there is a lot of people hedging. When it comes to options, I think this is a smart time to play with options. Now, I don't really recommend just people just randomly buying options or selling options, but if you know what you're doing with options, maybe I would buy the 35, maybe, but I'm not doing that. Sorry, the 35 on the call side, maybe. Okay, I'm not really recommending anything with this stock just because I've been following other EV makers like NIO and Workhorse and Tesla much more than Hyliion. So I'm just being honest here. Like, don't listen to me on exact advice here, nor do I give advice, but you get the point. All right, so you guys have the idea. Options are pretty bullish, and then there's also some hedging, but I wouldn't worry so much about the hedging side of things because people are just gonna do that, especially funds with big positions. And there is some funds that definitely have this stock. I mean, come on now, this is a very popular stock, especially on Robinhood, but also whatever happens on Robinhood, big institutional traders, I mean, not huge ones, but medium and small ones also want a piece of the action. So this might be them hedging, and I wouldn't worry about this so much. And I would take a look at the call action is, you know, there's some decent action. It's not crazy, but it's decent. So overall, what I would say is, be cautious on the stock. It has definitely run up, and if you made profits, congratulations, but don't expect this stock to really blow through the roof in the next few days. But when they do have a merger, you could expect a lot of action. So let's quickly just discuss, is this stock going to double? And I just want to quickly say, I don't think so. It might not double, but I can definitely see it going up by 50% towards all that news because people are going to get super excited. And I can see them going from 25 to 35 or 37. We'll see what happens. We'll give it a month, and I'll kind of do an update on this video. But yeah, I hope this video is helpful. Let's keep going. All right, guys, I hope that analysis was very thorough and helpful. I know a lot of you are learning about investing and trying to understand. Here is some additional food for thought if you want to become better at picking stocks. Number one, make sure you look at where the stock has been and where it is currently at in terms of price. So if a stock has been at $100 and it is now at $20, you want to make sure why that is happening, because that's pretty important. And a stock was at $10 and now it's at $100. You similarly want to know why that is happening. I kind of like when a stock is at 10 and it goes to 100, because that kind of means that there's a whole bunch of good stuff happening. Whereas if the stock goes to 100 down to 10, we got some problems and we should probably get away from that stock. Number two, figure out if the company's financials have been improving and if they have been expanding and executing on their mission and goals. That way you can make a better judgment on their value, because if they're executing, they're going up in value, they're hitting everything they're supposed to do, just like our boy Elon Musk. He keeps putting out really good stuff, new models, good results, beating earnings 4 quarters in a row and inclusion into S&P 500. Well, that's a very strong thing. That's something that I can get behind when it comes to a stock. And if a stock is just saying, yeah, we don't really have any revenues, Nicola, I mean, how? Why would I put my money with someone that don't make no money for me? I mean, it only makes sense, guys. You want to put your money somewhere where you can grow your money, where you can actually invest it. And that takes tangible results. So you guys kind of know, and I kind of try to teach that, you should always be looking into the financials, trying to understand. And if you want a video more about financials and what I kind of look for in terms of ratios, in terms of earnings, let me know in the comment section below, because I'm here to educate everyone and teach everything that I know about, you know, Wall Street, about finance, about investing, about becoming financially free, about reaching your goals so you can become a better investor. So these two pieces of information are important because, like Warren Buffett says, price is what you pay, but value is what you get. And you always want to invest your money in a way that will help it grow, but you don't want to over leverage yourself and be too heavily invested in one security, especially since I always talk about diversification, and I made a couple of videos about that. As well as, since I've just made a video on why value stocks can be a smart move right now, you really want to be careful with some of the high-flying growth stocks. If you haven't watched that, go check it out. If you want to be a great investor, you really should take a look through some of my videos I made, because I jam-pack a lot of value into my videos so I can help as many people as possible. Anyways, guys, if you like this, feel free to check out Discord or Patreon. But either way, I hope this video was helpful, and you know the deal. Be aggressive in learning, but be safe in investing. Give me a fist bump.